All right. Hey, what's up? It's up the boards and the Sporculation boys. I'm Yusuf.
I'm Tyler.
Holy fuck. The Stanley Cup finals are tomorrow.
Oh yes.
Okay. So where do we begin? Vegas is not in the finals.
I know none of the teams I think anyone predicted. Well, one of them was kind of
I
semi-obvious. I feel.
$19 million. What?
Yeah. Well, yeah. When you're cheating, it's really easy to make the finals.
Yeah.
Which my favorite is the argument like the Blackhawks did it years back,
Oh,
5-0 over.
and Tampa complained about it back then.
Yeah, I know. That really that's
Tyranny. Oh my god. Okay, for those who have been living under a little bit of a hockey rock or whatever, the Stanley Cup Finals begin tomorrow. We've finally gotten to the end of the playoffs of a very good playoff year. I'm gonna make it's been
really
a very
upset.
good play. I know.
I'm actually gonna miss this.
I know.
Like,
I'm gonna
fortunately, the season's starting on time supposedly, so like hopefully
yeah. So hopefully by early October we'll be back to normal with the regular season. But we're getting the Stanley Cup awarded soon, and that's always going to be that's always going to be a big deal.
Yep.
Our last two remaining teams. First up, the defending reigning champions, the Tampa Bay Cheaters, Lightning. Lightning. Who is Nikita Kucherov out?
No.
Okay. Well, they're screwed. And they will be facing
the Montreal Carey
probably
Prices.
Yes.
Just call them as they are. Just call them by the actual name of the team. Let's just
the Montreal Carey Prices. Look at that.
Look at the little bastard.
Okay. We're going to be talking about the finals. We're going to be previewing a few things, talking about little things here and there, and including I think what might be the best Cinderella run we've seen since St. Louis, and maybe even better than St. Louis.
Oh yeah.
And then we're going to be getting into some trade talks because of course there's going to be a firestorm of trade rumors now of all times.
Absolutely.
All right. Finals.
All right, well, let's start with who do you have winning and how many games? Because we're never right on this, but let's just have fun.
Carey Price and 4, specifically Carey Price.
Yeah, funny enough, I was actually going to say, I'm going to give it Montreal and 6, and I actually have logic to this.
See, I want to say 6 as well. 5, there's no way this series is ending in 5. I don't think.
I think regardless, it's ending in 6 for whoever wins it. And I do think Montreal is going to win it because I feel like everyone's kind of discrediting them.
Absolutely. Well, here's like.
Well, you have Montreal winning too, right? Like,
yeah.
We're actually on the same page.
Being the Canadian guy, makes sense. But let's bring this up though, since you talked about it. The analytics guys out there, especially like all the guys that work for the Athletic, you have like Dom Lucian and Max Bultman and all those guys. Very heavy on the stats and analytics kind of thing, constantly generating computer models to be like, yeah, this team has this percent chance. Well, Montreal had a 4% chance, according to all models, to even make the finals starting in the first round.
Well, so I feel like this is kind of with all things in life. The analytics only get you like so far. Like you could say
they do.
Yeah, and I think you can't be a total analytics guy, and then you can't be a total like I just watch the games and know guy. You have to do a little bit of both.
Yeah.
So I mean, the analytics have said a lot this year, but we've all been watching the playoffs, and we've watched Montreal completely shut down the Leafs. Like when it got to the game 4, Montreal's like, all right, we got this. Game 5, they're like, okay, cool, we're good.
Game 5, it's like the series is ours.
And then you watch them get. Then it was a fluke that Montreal won. Okay, whatever Leafs.
Sure, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to argue.
Then they sweep the Jets.
Yeah,
and then it's like, okay, not that the Jets are a really offense productive team. The Jets are a lot more defensively sound, but they still beat Connor Hellebuck, who is a top 3, top 5 goalie in the world.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And they put a really defensively two-way sound team.
Yeah, and not to mention, I'm gonna be. I feel like there's got to be other people that agree with us on this. At least, hopefully, you agree with me on this. Mark Scheifele getting himself suspended for almost murdering Jake Evans cost.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Mark Scheifele being like, look, regardless of what he said and like to defend it and whatnot, that cost the Jets that series.
Oh, absolutely.
At the end of the day, it did.
So okay, but they still beat one of the best goalies in the world. They scored on him enough to sweep them.
Yeah, they beat the current rating Vezina winner.
Yeah, and then they went in, and now they shut down Vegas, who was obviously most people predicted either them or Colorado to win the
Cup this year.
The West, if you will.
Yeah, whatever.
And let alone win the Cup.
Yeah, and plus Vegas being a probably
and they shut down
top 4 cup contender.
And they shut down Vegas's offense, which was fairly potent.
Yeah.
So
what was it? Vegas's defensive core had more goals than the offense.
Yeah,
in that series. Yeah.
I guess this is at what point are we supposed to just everyone? Sorry, I'm trying to do I have MotoGP on in the background, but at what point do we just start taking them seriously? It feels like no one's taking them seriously. They beat Toronto, they beat the Jets, they beat Vegas, and everyone's I don't think they're just.
It's I think honestly, if I'm logically speaking, okay, they beat Toronto. You can look at it one of 2 ways. You can look at it the way of that was a fluke, or you can look at it of Toronto's hurt. Right? You can look at that. Okay, put that aside. Them beating Winnipeg, that should have opened a lot of people's eyes, saying, okay, this team actually means business. Now, beating Vegas, the end of Game 6 should have been when people started taking the Habs seriously. Well, not even at the end. Game 3, 2 or 3 of the series.
So once again, let's go through it. Toronto had a potent offense. They're one of the best offenses this year.
Yep.
Okay. They shut them down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. You go to Winnipeg. You play.
They shut down the current Rocket Richard winner.
Yeah. Then you go to. Okay. Then you're in Winnipeg. You sweep a great 2A team. You outscore a great 2A team.
Probably one of the best 2A teams in the league.
Okay. So now you've beaten a top 5 offense.
Yep.
Top 5 goaltender. Top 5 goaltender and 2A team. Then you now play Vegas, who I would say is probably an all-around top 5, top 10 team in the league.
From top to bottom, they are a top 2.
Yeah.
In my honest opinion, from top to bottom, they are a top 2 team.
Top 5. We'll call it all the way around. So okay.
Sure, yeah.
You just shut down 3 teams that we all have kind of just agreed are top teams. Why the fuck? Why can't they do it now?
Yeah.
What's
stopping them?
Exactly. Honestly, I'm not. I'm gonna just go with Montreal. I feel like it's just Tampa's the easy answer, but it's because
I feel like they could actually do it.
And once again, even though they're $18 million over the cap, Tampa hasn't looked elite, even except for their 1 game against the Islanders, and even then.
Oh yeah, that was a weird game. That 8-0 was a weird game.
Yeah.
Here's the thing too, when I was getting back to my parents' place earlier today, my dad and I were talking on the drive home because we were talking about tomorrow getting ready for the game 1 of the finals. Now here's the thing, I think people didn't realize. Besides, they beat one of the better offenses in the league in the Leafs. They beat one of the best 2-way teams in Hellebuck. The Hellebuck part is important, right? They beat one of the best all-around teams in Vegas. Yeah. This random-ass Montreal team made up of old-ass people like Shea Weber. You have guys like Philip Deneau, Jeffrey Kotkaniemi, Caulfield, Nick Suzuki. This Thomas Tatar, you have this random, literal, just blender of young and old, whatever the hell Mark Bergevin put together, with a interim coach, the assistant coach, in Dom Ducharme, because they fired fucking Julian.
Yeah, well, and even then, last game they had his assistant because he was sick with COVID.
Because he was sick. Yeah. Well, Luke Richardson, or whatever his name was, I think that's his name, Luke Richardson, was coaching.
Well,
this random ass Montreal team. Sorry, let me just.
No, you good.
This random ass Montreal team has beaten Connor Hellebuck, Marc-Andre Fleury, and Robin Leonard. A Vezina winner, last year's Vezina candidate, this year's Vezina candidate,
and Freddie Anderson, who was top 5 goal in the league, or not Freddie, Jack Campbell.
Sure. And Jack Campbell.
Fantastic.
And now Jack's amazing. Do I put Jack on the level that is, Connor and Fleury? No, not yet. Maybe, a few more years if he's really getting it. But the fact that Montreal has pulled this off, beating arguably 3 of the best goalies in the league, is incredible. And what's the thing, who's to say they can't do that against Vasi?
Oh, absolutely.
Who's to say they can't do that against Vasilevsky?
Oh, absolutely.
And they're and the difference, the difference is with Dallas last year. is that this Montreal team is more or less pretty healthy.
Also, I like Khudobin, but like Price is the better goalie.
Yeah, Price is just a better goalie.
I mean, that's what it's going to come down to. So this is just something I was looking at. At some point, we got to talk about that spreadsheet I made. My very interesting spreadsheet.
We can save that, I think, before the draft.
I agree. All right, so just looking at the last, I guess it's 12 teams to win the Cup.
Yep.
All right. Well, Tampa we won't include because that was last year. We talked about them a lot. Okay, St. Louis. Let's look back on their run for a brief minute.
So let's see.
They were carried by what was the big headline of their whole thing? Jordan Binnington, right?
Yeah.
And their defense stepped up, right?
Yep.
And then Ryan O'Reilly.
And Ryan O'Reilly just decided to play hockey again.
Yeah, but it was mostly defense and goaltending. Now the Capitals are the oddball of that. And I'd say it was like, their offense. But even then, Barry Trotz had them playing a better two-way game, and Braden Holtby had like those shining moments.
Yeah, Braden Holtby really stepped up.
And the thing that put the Caps over for the only time ever is they actually decided to play a two-way game for once.
Shocking.
Pittsburgh, their back-to-back years. I mean, like Matt Murray stole the show.
You had Matt Murray showing up. You had 2017, I think, was the year. I still say it. Jake Gensel should have won MVP, not Crosby.
I'm with you.
And because you had guys like Gensel showing up.
Yeah, absolutely. And
the young, Pittsburgh, the 2016 and 17 years were just. They figured out how to juggle their lines properly. It was very much a depth thing. It was very much a depth game.
Absolutely. And even then, Chris Letang stepped up. You had Ole Mata, who was looking good.
Yeah, that's right. Ole Mata was then. Kessel. Can't forget fucking Phil.
Absolutely.
Nope.
2015, you had the Blackhawks.
Which was the strange year, which Tampa should have won, but,
But Corey Crawford stepped up.
Yep.
Duncan Keith, Seabrook.
Brent Seabrook, and what was, I think they knew that was going to be their last run.
Yeah, and then you have obviously the two-headed duo of Taves and Kane.
Yep.
Then you had LA, right?
No.
Quick and company.
Pretty much,
Alec Martinez, hate him.
Drew Day.
We're going to skip 2014.
No, we're not.
2013 to go back to Chicago. I mean, once again.
2013 Chicago again.
Same group of guys.
Yep. Seabrook, Keith. Taves and Kane and Taves. Fuck, I keep mixing that up.
2012, Los Angeles Kings, once again.
Jonathan Quick. Jonathan fucking Quick.
Drew Doughty, that defense.
Oh, yeah.
Boston Bruins, that defense. Tim Thomas.
Nope.
And even Chicago in 2010 was defense, man. I mean, it's the point I'm trying to get at. And even the Penguins in 2009, Fleury was the guy.
Fuller's stolen that cup.
Well, so the point being, typically it's better goalie and defense.
Yeah.
And then your offense just has to be potent enough. And, not comparing Cole Caulfield and Kotkaniemi to Taves and Kane, but Caulfield is fucking balling out. And to think he was scratched. I mean, dude, I don't know. I feel like Montreal's got all the right pieces.
It is absurd to think about it right now. That number one, Cole Caulfield, the year he's had, he won the World Juniors with Team USA to kick off the year. That's great.
Yep.
That's awesome, right? Goes back to Minnesota for college. Wins the Hobey Baker Award. I think he holds the record for most goals scored in a single NCAA season now.
I believe you're right.
Is he Minnesota or Wisconsin? I can never remember.
I think it was
he a Badger or was he? It was Wisconsin. I don't know. Thanks, Internet.
I love Google.
Google's always handy.
Whopping 20 years old. Let's see. University of Wisconsin.
Okay, not Minnesota. Never mind, Wisconsin. Sorry about that. Please, Wisconsin people, don't hurt me. Well, has his year in Wisconsin, wins the fucking Hobey Baker, gets his ELC signed with Montreal. He played, I think, 5 games or so in the regular season before the end of it. He had 2 overtime goals in the regular season. And then the playoffs start, and he scratched the first 2 games. And everyone's like, why would you scratch Cole? Weird, right? And then he comes back, they don't scratch him. They put him in the lineup, and holy shit. Now, is it like, elite level territory, like crazy? Not like insane crazy, but like he is surprising a lot of people.
Dude, I'm telling you, if all it takes is them just shutting down those top two lines of Tampa, and that's really gonna really even the series. And now, I forget. I think it might have honestly been NBC. Like I actually might have to give them credit for once. But I forgot who it was. I was watching a hockey game and they were talking about like how you invest your money as a team.
Okay.
It might have just been the Rangers broadcast in MSG. Regardless, I forget who it was, but they were talking about like,
all right, it sounds too smart to be NBC, so
it probably was Steve Allicat on the Rangers broadcast on MSG. But like, if you look at a team, you have 80 mil, roughly 80 mil, a little over.
81 and a half, we're going to be specific.
But like, Montreal invested in a goaltender.
Yep.
And then they invested in a defense.
Yep.
And then they have their offense.
Yeah.
Tampa is obviously so far worth they could invest in all of it.
Yeah, Tampa just has imaginary money somehow.
And then, no, it was on BC because they were talking about this during the Leafs series. Because they were talking about how the Leafs invested half of their money into four guys.
Yeah, into four guys.
And it's like they're all offense. And it's like it definitely shows in like the playoffs where like defense kind of matters more. So I don't know. It's very interesting watching like which teams are prevailing. And to me, there seems to be a common trend of teams that are doing well in the playoffs.
I closed muted. There you go. It's one of those things where like considering what Tampa's thrown to, not Tampa, sorry, what Montreal has thrown together, having spent, a majority of their money on Carey, it worked out very well for them.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It worked out very well. You have these young guys stepping up. Kotkaniemi has 9 goals before the age of 21. He ties that record now with, I think it's Lemieux and Gretzky.
Yep.
Right. Caulfield, he's not even a legit rookie. He's going to be up for the Calder next year. And he's also only 20.
Yeah.
Right. Like these guys have been showing up and just putting the work in.
Yeah.
And this is something a lot of people have been asking. I've been hearing this on Sportsnet on Dangle's podcast. If you go back to the 2019 draft, do you take Cole Caulfield higher than 15, which was the number he was taken at? He was taken at 15.
Absolutely.
Because you look at the 2019 draft, if you look at the top, I don't know, top 5, top 6, or top 10.
I'm looking at the top 15. I got the whole list up.
Top 15. Okay, so you had Jack Hughes at number 1, right? You had Kakko. You had Kirby Dach, Bowen Byram. 5th was Turcotte, I believe.
Yep.
6th was Seider. I remember that much. 7 was
Dylan Cousins.
Dylan Cousins at 7?
Yep.
I mean, Cousins ain't bad, but okay. 8.
It's Buffalo.
That's true. 8.
Philip Broberg.
Oh my God, he was a top 10. Okay. 9, I believe, was Zegras.
Yep.
10 was
Prad Colson.
Okay. Don't know that one.
Vancouver, right wing.
Oh, okay. 11.
Soderstrom.
Victor Soderstrom. Okay. 12.
Boldy.
Matt Boldy was 12. Okay. 13 was Spencer. I remember that.
Yep. Cameron York was 14.
Cameron York was 14 from Philly, and 15 was Cole. So, okay. You look at the 14 names taken before Cole Caulfield.
So, Hughes I get.
Hughes made sense.
Kakko, I honestly, personally, I think Kakko's done really well. His two-way play is out fucking standing. He just needs to trust his shot. He just needs to trust his shot. Right. Okay, Kirby Dach, if he just doesn't get hurt, he's good.
Kirby Dach, if he doesn't get hurt, he's going to have an unbelievable career. He's already shown that he can before he got his fucking arm hurt.
The top 4, I think, are good, actually, because Byram's up there,
too. Bowen Byram's disgusting. He can't have a bad career. He can't.
I think all 4 of those guys are going to be very good, actually.
Yeah. Turcotte at 5, I'd say is
okay.
Not bad.
No. Seider is going to be very good.
Seider was a steal at 6.
Cousins was a little bit of a reach.
Cousins was a reach. He's worked out okay for Buffalo, but then again, it's Buffalo, so he'll probably be traded in 3 years.
I literally have no idea who the hell the guy Broberg is. The Oilers.
I don't think he's played yet. Who drafted 8th?
Oilers.
Okay.
Zegras is a stud. He's gonna be fine.
Zegras is gonna be unbelievable. Yeah. There's no surprise there.
I literally don't know the guy the Canucks drafted, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Soderstrom.
Wait, 2019, right?
Yeah, 2019.
What's his name?
Philip Broberg.
That's a Canucks took?
No, sorry, my bad. What is it? Vasily.
Oh, Podkolzin?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, he's gonna be a fucking nightmare of a player. He's gonna be a nightmare. I was like, who the hell are you talking about? Because I'm like, I know he got drafted in 2018 or 19. I can't remember. No, but Podkolzin, I took a good watch of his highlights from the KHL and like junior.
Oh, yeah.
After that draft, he's fucking ridiculous.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. I need to watch them. That's good to know.
So Podkolzin was 10, 11 was Boldy.
Soderstrom.
Soderstrom, correct.
Coyotes,
Boldy, right?
Who I believe is actually supposed to be pretty good.
I've heard very good things about Victor Soderstrom. No.
Yeah, no, the Yotes are really good at defensemen. I don't know what they can't seem to draft. Actually, they seem to have gotten a lot better at the drafting. Last year was bad.
Well, we don't talk about last year because they fucked themselves over. But
yeah, but dude, they've been drafting really well recently.
They have
just
been.
not
okay.
Fuck shoot themselves in the foot.
And then what are we at? 13. Yeah, Matt
Boldy is 12.
Who hasn't played yet, I don't think.
I don't think he has either.
But from what I've heard, he's got pretty solid like potential.
Yep, 13 was pretty solid
feeling. Yeah. So,
our hero,
our hero, Spencer Knight, our literal child, Spencer Knight.
Absolutely.
Yep. And then 14 was who?
Cameron York.
Cam York. Okay, I've heard very good things about Cam York. So there's that. But then there's Cole, which I know a lot of people had said would be a steal at the draft that year. Looking at it now, Cole could have gone top 10.
Oh, he absolutely could have gone top 10.
There are probably going to be I wouldn't blame GMs now watching the Canadiens picking themselves that they didn't pick Cole that early.
No, I agree.
Yeah, and he's going to have a great career and he's already starting to shine because a lot of these high end rookies when they show up you don't really see much of them until maybe a season end.
Oh, absolutely. I
feel nowadays, right?
I feel like over the past 5 years, it's really hard to come into the league and just be a complete breakout player. Yeah, it's changed. It's not like the mid 2000s anymore. Yeah. When you had first overall pick guys showing up and wrecking everybody. Although I'm curious to see Olaf under new leadership. Olaf with Gerard Gallant, I think should be nice. But we're not talking about the Rangers right now. Yeah, I know. I just got excited. We're not talking about the Rangers right now. So going back to the whole Montreal and Tampa thing, it's like Montreal is making gold out of whatever resources they have. It's not a lot when you think about it. Yeah, I mean, but they're making it worth it. But they have good depth. Dude, if you look at their depth, if you actually just sit down and say, okay, let's look at Montreal objectively. Yeah, using our friends at Cap Friendly. Thanks, by the way. Friendly. You want to sponsor Montreal's cap hit right now? Okay, hit me. Is, I believe, 70. Ooh, so 11 million. Wow. Okay. Yep. Their cap hit is 70,827,000. This is for next season, though, right? This is for 2021, 2022. This is. Oh, yeah, it's for next season. Shit. Yeah, it is for next season. I'm pretty sure. Damn it. Because that's the thing with Cap Friendly. They update by when the season ends, so it's it's unfortunate. Well, I know, right? But they would have been great to know. I'm curious. But honestly, looking at the guys they've had, I don't know how much. I wonder what their cap is. Now I'm actually really curious, but I'll look it up later. Yeah. They definitely can't be as high as Tampa. That's for damn sure. No, I don't think anyone is close. So it's absurd. Yeah, they're making good with what they have, and their depth, You ever man? Imagine telling someone one day Shea Weber and Carey Price are going to see their first Stanley Cup final together. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing. You look at the team, you got Brendan Gallagher, yep. Josh Anderson, who has been showing up. He was such a good pickup for Montreal. Yeah. Tyler Toffoli, which is great. Who, again, steal. Jim Benning, you're an idiot for not keeping Toffoli. Paul Byron. He's been solid. Okay, Cole. He's Caulfield. A name you don't normally remember. Okay, Cole Caulfield. He's fucking Nick Suzuki. Oh, Vegas is punching themselves for fucking trading Suzuki and Tatar to get Max Pacioretty. Oh yeah. Oh man. All right. You got Jake Evans, who I think is still dead, from Shifley.
Yeah, from
You got
Mark
Corey
Shifley,
Perry, Yoel Armia.
Corey Perry. This is his redemption tour, man.
Oh, dude, Corey Perry is balling out right now. You got Philip Donnell. You got Eric Stahl, who also has been doing really well. Thomas Tatar, Tori Lehkonen, Jasper Kotkaniemi. I mean, like, dude, you got some good people on this team.
Lehkonen's been great.
Yeah.
Tatar's been Tatar. He hasn't really been like solid, but he's still a good depth guy. Still a good.
Exactly.
Guy. Yeah. And then Jasper Kotkaniemi, who I'm pretty sure will be the number one center for Montreal. Come like
absolutely.
Him or Nick. It's him or Nick that's going to be the number one center.
Dude, I love Nick.
And then Cole's going to be on that
monster.
wing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, then you look at the D. You got Shea Weber, who I think Shea Weber and Price kind of had this minor talk. If I had to imagine, it was probably something like this after they're probably playing the Leafs round one. It was probably game 5 actually. They probably had talked to each other going to the game. They're like, hey, this is probably our only shot at getting one of these. Let's go for it.
Yeah, exactly. This might be, I don't, this. If I'm gonna be real here, this might be the last chance both of them ever get at making the cup. This might actually be it. Because Carey's 33, but it's Montreal. You never know what's gonna happen. Shea's old as shit. So.
He's 35, yeah. And their contracts run out together. This feels like
this might actually be that, this is it moment. So.
And dude, Jake Allen will get his second Stanley Cup if they win.
Fuck, that's right. Jake Allen was on that Blues team still. That was before they traded him.
Exactly.
Legend. Before they traded him, yeah.
Legend.
Okay, by the way, so before we start talking about Tampa, however long we're going to be talking about Tampa for, I want to ask you a question.
Yep.
I heard this rumor that apparently what Jake Allen does is he'll watch tapes of the goalies they're facing.
I think I told you this.
And he'll mimic, it was either you who told me this or someone else said it. He'll mimic their style, and he uses that in practice to get the guys rolling and figure out what to do.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Is that true?
Yeah, it is true. It's actually really interesting. He talks a lot about that. It's kind of cool, actually. He fully recognizes his role.
Mm-hmm.
And he just he's just trying to help however he can. And if he's dude, honestly, that gives me more playing time and it really helps the team, screw it. He still gets a ring. That's all he cares about.
Yeah, exactly. He still gets a ring. So yeah, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's smart.
That's weird. Yeah. So Montreal, I seriously think this might be it. The only issue is that Tampa finds a way of doing really stupid shit.
Like cheating.
And also apparently Kucherov is 100% okay.
You know what's crazy?
That they're $18 million over the cap?
No, I'm looking at cap friendly. They're over the cap for next year. Somehow.
By how much?
Still 3.
Really?
Yep.
They're
sorry. 5.
They're $86 million spent next year?
Yep, and they still have to re-sign a lot. They have a lot of players to sign or replace.
Nothing makes sense about Tampa. See, I know that whole thing about they were the ones that complained in 2015 about the Blackhawks and they're illegal contracts, and now they're the ones doing it. I really hope that this is the wake-up call the NHL needs to just be yeah, we should probably do something about this.
So I was thinking about this. I was thinking of a solution. The best I could come up with would be you have pre-trade deadline cap and then post-trade deadline cap.
Okay.
So you should be cap compliant every game. So if you set the cap at okay, let's keep it at what is it, 82.5 right now or 81?
81.5.
Okay, it's a little bit over that, but we'll call it 81.5 for simplicity. So if you say game
day, I thought it was 81.5 flat.
I think it's 81.599.
Okay, regardless of the fucking stupid little.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll call it 81.5 for simplicity.
Sure, we'll call it 81.5.
Okay, so if the best way I could think of how to do it would be okay, if game day, whatever your roster or your total roster has to be 81.5 up from the start of the season to trade deadline. Okay. You could use LTIR, but then you have to figure out if you're going to trade or drop someone or whatever. After the trade deadline, I feel you should get a $5 million buffer. So bring it up to 86.5.
Okay.
That way you have a little bit of wiggle room for if the LTIR, you get a guy back, but
Mhm.
Nothing crazy. But that way, everyone's allowed to do it after the trade deadline.
I wouldn't say that's a bad idea.
That's the best solution I could figure out.
It's the problem with the NHL, and like I do appreciate the hard cap system that they use because it blocks out super teams like we got in the 2000s.
Yep.
But I think that's what makes it complicated of trying to do a potential, like wiggle room and cap space post trade deadline.
Well, yeah, I mean that's
right.
the problem is everyone.
That's where it gets.
This is the problem. Everyone does it anyway.
Yeah, everyone's going to do it.
A lot of teams do it. Yeah. So I mean, it's like
it really. I don't know. It always, to me, I always appreciate the way a team is able to make whatever sacrifices they need to make space at the trade deadline. If they do,
exactly.
So it works. It works like that. But like, I personally, my thought solution to it, if you will, have a minimum number of games played for players to be able to be on the playoff roster.
See, also that I'm a big fan of that
because, like, Stammer and Kucherov played 0 games this season.
Well, they just would have made a miraculous recovery earlier.
Yeah, but if they made their miraculous recovery earlier, I don't think we would be scrutinizing it as much.
Yeah, no, I concur.
Because they showed up healthy and Kucherov got 2 goals his first game back.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just absurd.
There's that. I don't know. Tampa Bay is one of those weird things. Okay. All right. I want to ask a question before we start getting into the trade stuff, and this is where we're gonna, I guess, end the finals stuff before the finals actually start.
Yep, go Montreal.
Yeah, we've got Montreal. Now, who would you have to win the Conn Smythe if Montreal and if Tampa?
Okay, if Montreal, Carey Price. I mean, that's just.
I don't think it's a debate. Carey Price wins the Conn Smythe if Montreal wins it.
Now, if Tampa wins it, it's Braden Point.
Okay, so we're on the same page. We're on the same page.
That's pretty. Yeah, that's pretty easy.
I don't like.
Now, fun fact for you, actually, I was reading about this. Okay. With the Conn Smythe Trophy, this is actually very interesting. An opposing player can win it.
Yeah, J.S. Jaguar won it.
Yeah, so it's very. I also thought it was interesting. I love that.
Yeah, no, I knew that.
Yeah,
I remember because when Jiggy won it in 03, when the Ducks lost to Jersey, remember?
Yeah.
No, I still remember that.
Pertor was robbed. No, I'm kidding.
It's still one of those weird things where like it. That's the weird thing though, right? Is like, how does it feel like you win playoff MVP, but your team didn't win the Stanley Cup? It's that piece of hardware that'll sit on your mantle, and you just look at it and be like, cool, but I did get the fucking raise the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, exactly. Who? 2014. Oh, Justin Williams won in 2014.
Justin Williams did one. Yeah, Justin Williams with the Conn Smythe Trophy. Mr. Game 7. You can never count out Mr. Game 7. But yeah, I think we're on the same page here with if Montreal wins it, it has to be Carey. Carey, like the whole team could have their legs broken, and Carey will somehow find a way to win that game.
Yep.
And then Braden Point, I there's no other option. I don't think. Look. I know people are like, oh well, Nikita Kucherov's doing great. Yeah, well, no offense, Braden Point's doing better. He's been their best center for the last couple of years. Braden Point has been their best center for a while.
Point is very, very good.
Yeah, let the man have his thing. But
absolutely.
Anyways, game 1 of the finals start tomorrow. This is going to be exciting. Tickets for Montreal games are $5,000. So I'm not driving to go see a game, but if they win, I'm driving to go see the parade. It's only like 7 hours from my house. So. Worth it. Okay. Let's get into this quickly. It's like we got, I don't know how much time we have. Probably another like 10, 15 minutes. So.
All right. Trade talks.
Okay. Trades, because fucking season's over technically for every other team except these two. So, there are 3 names right now that are on the trading block, on the rumor trading block, and one of them is not a surprise. I think one of them has been talked about more than often. The other one you saw coming. The other one I kind of saw coming. Seth Jones, apparently not trading block, but he wants to potentially test free agency.
Yes,
from what I remember hearing.
Yes, which is strange.
Is his contract? No, his contract's up this year, right? Is he a UFA or RFA?
I think he's not. I'm gonna check.
Where is cap friendly? I'll put out cap friendly.
All right. Seth Jones, he actually is signed this year. He's got next year's his.
Oh, he is signed this year.
Yeah, he's a UFA next year, but he doesn't want to play this year there, from what I've heard.
Okay, because then Columbus honestly could probably trade Seth Jones and get like a good draft pick out of it. Because there's someone that wants to get Seth Jones.
He'll probably go up the deadline.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I wouldn't be shocked if he's a draft day trade.
Oh, absolutely. Like
I'm
honestly convinced Jack Eichel. Well, actually, Eichel needs to go sooner. I actually have a logic.
I want to get to Jack.
We'll get to Jack.
I want to get because Jack. Oh, that there was so much to unpack with that shit. There is so much to unpack. Yeah. After that, Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Is it that he wants out of Arizona? Or is that Arizona wants him out?
I think it's a mutual thing. I think they want to give him time somewhere else to go actually get a shot at winning. And I think, like I said, they've been drafting well. And I think they kind of see that they could really build a solid future if they take a year or two to really like analyze what they want to do.
And they don't fuck around.
And I don't think they will. And I think their kind of logic is we can get some draft picks for him and really start kind of building around. Because once again, if you look at their roster, I mean, like, let's see. And remember, they're changing divisions next year. But like, they got Clayton Keller. They got.
They're leaving the Pacific?
Yeah, they're going to the Central.
Oh, dear God.
Because Seattle.
Because Seattle's showing up, right? Yeah.
So, I mean, you got Clayton Keller, you got Nick Schmaltz, you got Christian Dvorak, Larson Krause, you got Christian Fisher. Like, you got and Connor Garland. They got some good young players there.
Not a bad team there.
No,
not a bad team at all.
They have a lot of young talent, actually. And then on D, they got Jacob Chikrin, who's extremely
Chikrin's great, yeah.
They got Labushkin, who's solid. Like, they got young pieces they can work with. So, I don't know. I feel like trade out.
Yeah, but I think the question is who would take OEL?
I mean,
because I know apparently last year when they were trying to trade him, it was either he didn't want to go to Vancouver or Vancouver just didn't have the right things to give up.
Well, so yeah, he has a no move clause. He can pick where he does. Go.
Yeah, exactly. So honestly, maybe he becomes a Bruin.
I was going to say that.
Maybe he becomes a Bruin. I feel like the Bruins are like the best, like. Just
you know who else is? You know who else is kind of leaving their team? Hamilton.
That's right, Dougie Hamilton. Yeah, he is on the Bachelor list now.
Yep.
Which I will be completely honest. Like there's a lot of Toronto fans out here that are like, let's get Dougie Hamilton. And I'm like, I love Dougie Hamilton. I don't think it's a good idea.
I'm curious to what happens to Mrazek. On a list, so we can get to the UFAs and RFAs.
Yeah, we can get that.
Back to trading.
We'll have a whole conversation before the draft.
Back to trading.
It's going to be nuts. Well, we have another month before the draft, so there's that. Yeah. So OEL, I feel like it could be a good fit on like the Bruins or somewhere. You know, very heavy defensive offensive team. Seth Jones, I don't know where he could end up if they do decide to trade him.
I mean, he's a
strictly
offensive defenseman.
What do you give up for Seth Jones? And for OEL, you know, I mean, like trade value. This is such a weird year that like a lot of players' stock value has gone down.
Well, so this is. I feel like we need to talk about the last person, and then we could talk about value.
Good idea.
Okay, so
now and then of course we have Jack Eichel.
Yep.
Because Buffalo just doesn't fucking know what to do. Also, they might be trading Sam Reinhart. So,
did you hear his interview? It was so good.
I did.
It was
painful, but very good. Painful, but very good.
So
Buffalo is going to try to part ways with Jack Eichel. Tyler, go ahead.
Well, so this is the thing. Jack Eichel had a neck injury. He needs surgery.
Yeah, he does.
And if he's not going to play for Buffalo, they're not going to pay for his surgery.
Right.
So they have to move him.
They're holding him hostage, right? Because they don't want him to get the surgery.
Well, it's not even that. They still want him to play there, but like he doesn't want to. So they want to get a good return, but like teams aren't wanting to give them a lot because they're like, yo, he's got to go for neck surgery, which is a fairly big deal.
Right. Now,
and they have to foot the bill. Like the team who gets him has to foot the bill. Now the thing is, the recovery time, basically he has to get it within like the next 2 to 3 weeks if he wants to make even think about making it early next season.
Yep.
So, like, if they want to actually realistically get him at a good value, they need to pull the trigger on it within like the next week or two.
Yeah.
Or else he's going to miss part of the season.
What I've heard about that with the neck surgery was that apparently there's like two methods he could do. The one method is the method that like all like players go through. It's a normal one that like, you know, recovery time is however long it might be, like 6 months, like 12 months, whatever it might be, right? There's another one, and this is why, if I remember correctly, this is why the conversation was getting kind of fired up about Jack Eichel and his trade value, was because the surgery he was looking into hasn't been done by an NHL player. So they don't know what the risk is going to be post-surgery. Right? Well, you don't want to take a risk on that if you're going to trade for a guy like Eichel.
Now, that's the thing. That's where apparently like the Rangers are starting to back out because they're like, their asking price is so high.
I think a lot of teams are starting to back out.
Well, apparently the Ducks, was it the Ducks?
Minnesota.
Blackhawks, Minnesota, us.
No. The Red Wings are out. I know that. They're not going to try to get Eichel.
I think we're backing out. I haven't heard anything about us. Although all Rangers news comes out on Mondays anyway, so we'll see.
There you go. So yeah,
Blue Jackets are out.
Blue Jackets are out now too. Okay. So that's the thing. Like if you trade for Eichel, you know, like I asked before, what are you willing to give up for players, like certain players? You know, if you're talking about a Jack Eichel that you don't know when he's going to be back, do you add to the deal? Do you ask for Jack Eichel and something else as a backup?
Supposedly they want, if I remember correctly, it's like a first.
Okay.
It's
this year, next year.
I think they want both.
I know Buffalo apparently was like super gung ho about this draft year for some reason.
I think they want a first from this year. They want like 1 or 2 like NHL ready players, and then like 2 high level prospects. It's something absurd like that, if I remember correctly. Which is a lot.
Hold on. Whoa. A first rounder.
The first rounder. They want a prospect.
2 NHL level ready level.
I believe it's 1 or 2 NHL level players and then 1 or 2 NHL level prospects. I know it's a very high level. 1 or 2 prospects, 1 or 2 players, and then 1 or 2 first rounders. It's a really high asking price.
I don't know what team has all that to give.
Well, I know one.
Is it the Rangers?
Yeah, they do. And I don't want them to. The problem is they're going to want Kakko and they're going to want Nils Lundqvist. And I don't see the Rangers giving up either of those two for that. Because last year they were like, we want Lafreniere, and we're like, no. So.
No. I don't know, like, because Buffalo, like, if I'm Kevin Adams in the Buffalo staff, right, and you're asking for, I think what the golden pieces here are that first round pick and probably one of the NHL ready players or one of like the top prospects, because I think Buffalo is actually trying to get serious, but we're never going to take them seriously. So, you know, none of the wiser. But Buffalo will probably want to pull, hopefully, what Ottawa did last year, in that they'll try to get 2 picks in the top 5.
Absolutely.
Maybe the top 6. Right? It's a weird draft year, yeah, but like, you know, having those would be nice. You know, you get potentially Owen Power and Matt Beniers at 1, and then you get whoever the hell you want, that whatever you get in the remaining top 5. But that means they would have to strike a deal with one of, what is it, Seattle, Anaheim. Who the fuck is picking 4th and 5th this year? I can't remember. Cap Friendly, where are you?
They have the draft list on Cap Friendly.
I do.
Oh man, they got everything on Cap Friendly, don't they?
I do have everything Cap Friendly.
It's amazing. All right, here we go. NHL Draft Order.
It's Buffalo, Seattle, Anaheim. Is Columbus 5th?
I think they are. Oh, here we go.
4th. Who's picking 4th?
Jesus.
I feel like it's fucking someone random.
Why can I not find the damn list?
Technical difficulties.
Blame Yusuf. Just kidding, I don't blame you. Oh, entry draft board. Here we go.
There we go.
All right. Buffalo is the first overall pick.
Yep.
Second overall is the second. Third is Anaheim. 4th is New Jersey. 5th is Columbus.
Jersey is 4th pick.
6th is Detroit.
Yep.
7 is San Jose.
Okay.
8 is LA.
Yeah.
9 is Vancouver.
Okay.
10 is Ottawa.
Okay. Let's just get the top 10, because I feel like top 10 is what Buffalo wants.
Absolutely.
Well, if we keep to that, Let's think. You look at like LA is the first team I think of when you're talking about.
Oh, dude, apparently LA is really big on it. I just don't know what they're going to send back.
Okay. So their pick. So 10th overall, 9th overall, 8th overall, 8th overall.
Okay. Let's say it's a first and second this year for just shits and giggles.
First and second.
So let's say you get the 8th pick.
You get the 8th overall pick, and then you're getting a late second rounder.
Yeah.
Right. You're getting a late second rounder, give or take. NHL level ready players. Ready level players. I have no idea. Because prospects, like the first person you could think of is Byfield.
Yeah.
They're not going to give up Byfield though. They're not going to give up Turcotte. They're not going to give up Akil Thomas.
They don't have any NHL players or anything. They were bad this year.
No, they're just not good.
Well, and
like,
they want.
What are they going to?
Oh, they want a goalie. I think that's part of the thing. If I remember correctly.
They're not giving up Cal Peterson though.
Yeah, and Quick is not going.
And Quick is never leaving. Yeah.
Now Quick actually doesn't have a say because he has no terms on his deal.
Ah, okay.
So they could just sign Quick over there, but I don't think they're going to want a 35-year-old goalie.
Yeah. No.
So that was where, once again, that's where the Rangers were appealing because we have Georgiev, who is like solid enough to be a starter.
Right.
So like that's been our selling point.
Yeah. Yeah, because like I know the Winged Wheel podcast. You can check them out; they're cool too. They were talking about the potential of a Jack Eichel to Detroit situation. And it's like, okay, if we get our first round pick, the 6th overall, there's that. If we get an NHL player, probably, I don't know, like a Dylan Larkin, maybe it'd be risky. Why would Dylan Larkin? And then if you're talking about prospect, there are some people that are completely open to trading Moritz Seider for the sake of Jack Eichel, which I don't think is worth it. But yeah, it's a very hard thing to figure out. The Jack Eichel situation is very difficult to really get into because Jack doesn't want to be there. Buffalo has basically admitted they don't want Jack anymore, which that's your own fault. It's your own fucking fault, Buffalo.
I don't get Buffalo. How can you not hire a competent group?
How do you, genuinely, how do you justify having Jack Eichel, multiple first and second overall picks on your team, like top 4 picks, right? You got him and Dahlin. You have Reinhart, you have Ristolainen, you had a very stupid contract in Jeff Skinner, Well,
yeah, and then you were asking about. Oh, sorry, I'm just bouncing back and forth. You were asking about trade values for Seth Jones and Ekman Larson. Well, if Eichel is a high value, so if Eichel is your highest, you have to look at
Eichel's elite value.
What defenseman would you consider Seth Jones level when he was traded?
When he was traded, you mean when he left fucking Nashville?
No. When a similar-esque player was traded, what was their value?
Defenseman wise?
Yeah, so
you need the last big defenseman that was traded, Carlson. And they got a first. They got a first rounder.
That's a huge one, yeah. But I don't think Seth Jones is as good as Carlson.
No, he's not on Carlson level. Yeah. Maybe the Weber trade, the Weber Subban trade from 2016.
I think that, or even the Subban Devils trade.
What did the Devils give up for that?
They got.
I could never.
They got a NHL player, Steven Santini. So they gave the Predators Steven Santini and Jeremy Davies, who I don't think either of them have actually played for the Preds.
I don't think so.
And then 2 second-round picks.
So not a pot of gold or anything. No. Oh, okay.
Now I think what did we give up for him?
But you got to remember too. Part of PK's trade was because it was a cap dump.
Yeah. Now.
Right.
We got Adam Fox for a 2nd and 3rd round pick.
Yeah. Okay.
So maybe some 2nd rounders.
Too. Yeah, I don't think a 1st rounder would be involved for Seth. No,
especially because he got 1 year deal left on his deal.
Yeah. I wouldn't be trading a 1st round. It's too risky.
No, I'm kind of with you.
So there's that.
Unless the team really, really wants him, but I don't think his defensive. He's a great offensive defenseman, but his upside is not.
What if they just go 1-for-1 OEL for Seth Jones? Just like maximum chaos.
Shock. No, they won't do because Oliver's so much older.
Well, what do we know? He's pretty old. I keep forgetting he's old.
Yeah.
It's like 34, something like that. I don't even know.
I'm trying to remember what we gave up to get Tony DeAngelo.
Tony DeAngelo.
I was like, offensive defenseman, he sucks at defense. I know a guy.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Similar age.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what we gave up.
I'm trying to think. I don't know.
All right. Coyotes, let's see. Coyotes for DeAngelo as well as 7th overall pick. In the 2017 draft to the New York Rangers in exchange for Stefan and Antti Ranta.
They gave up DeAngelo in the 7th overall?
Yeah.
For that?
Yeah. Wow. That's well, because as we soon learned, it was actually a good move on Arizona's part.
It was, yeah.
Because A, we wasted the pick on Elias Anderson. B, DeAngelo was an idiot. So
yeah, well, but yeah, I don't know. Just getting away from the Seth Jones stuff, it's like you look at that, you look at like OEL. Not sure what Arizona wants for OEL. Maybe a forward, maybe a goalie, maybe a defenseman, maybe a better competent ownership. Maybe an ownership that pays for pizza.
I wonder if they're actually going to hire a coach.
Is Arizona looking? Are they? They're in the coach market. They are, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they fired Tocchet.
They did fire Tocchet. That's right. Yeah, Tocchet's free. So, huh? Weird. Actually, you know what?
I know someone employed or unemployed.
Uh-oh.
John Tortorella.
40 on Arizona?
Dude, why not?
It's hilarious. Imagine Torty having to work with Phil Kessel.
Dude, it'd be fantastic.
I mean, it'd be great. Yeah, I don't know. I feel so trade stuff we can get. I think we can get more into this in the next coming weeks.
I feel like there's a lot of stuff's going to develop and pick up in the next week.
Last thing, and I added this last minute. I'm going to add this last minute right now as we begin to wrap up. Since you mentioned coaches, what the fuck, Seattle?
Oh God, don't even get me started.
What?
There was some better. I'm not going to say a lot of better options. There were definitely options.
There were solid options.
I mean,
solid, not amazing, but like, look, after the Rangers got Gerard Gallant, whatever, right?
I would have taken Tocchet. I mean, like seriously, I would have just taken Tocchet.
I would have taken Tocchet. Take a risk on 40. Fucking David Twinn's free. So
Torts.
Yeah, take a risk on, why not? Torts coaching Seattle. I would have maybe taken a risk on no, I would not have taken a risk on Mike Babcock.
I feel like there was so many more interesting, or they could have gotten like a college guy. I would have been more interested in that than like what they did.
Dave Haxel.
Yeah, it's a weird.
Who I forgot was still coaching. Now, granted,
same.
He was an assistant coach for the Leaf this year.
Or
last year too.
He was alive. Seriously, I forgot.
When I saw the announcement, I was watching the promo video that Seattle put out. Which, by the way, credit to Seattle's PR team. They're doing really cool stuff.
Yeah, they're really cool.
They're doing really cool stuff. That's what happens when you're one of your co-owners of the team is fucking Jerry Bruckheimer and you have all that production money. So, yeah, they did the whole cool like promo intro video, and I'm like, okay, this is exciting. And it's like Dave Haxel is your new coach, and I'm like, this is a joke,
Dave
right?
Haxtell. Like I just thought it was a weird.
Okay, yeah, it's just I get it. Brand new team, you want to do something new, right? Like. We can get into this, I think, more after the Seattle expansion draft is done. But I don't know for a fact, actually, but I don't think we're going to get another Vegas Golden Knights situation out of this. We're not going to get a team that's just going to gangbusters somehow, like, make their way to the Stanley Cup final in their first year.
No.
But we'll find out. But yeah, Dave Haxtell's a new fucking Seattle. He's the first ever coach for Seattle.
Yeah.
Good for him, I guess.
Yeah. It's a choice.
Cool. Last I checked, his last head coaching stint was 1819, I believe it was, or 1920.
Yeah,
no, 1819, I think.
I just have this up. Yeah, 1819 he got fired.
Because
he coached 31 games.
He was there for like 4 seasons though. So.
Yes.
Well, we'll see how this goes. It'll be interesting.
It'll be interesting.
We're really oddball choice, not like the worst choice, obviously, but Yeah. Seattle's getting closer to becoming a team.
It's choice.
Yeah. So let's see. I think we covered everything today. I'm good to go.
I'm good.
Because I'm still recovering from this fucking Moderna shot. So yeah, we had an episode where Tyler was dying from it, and now it's my turn.
Yeah, it's gonna hit you, dude.
Oh, I'm not ready.
Oh,
All right.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, whatever. On that note, this has been Up the Boards, part of the Sportculation family. I am Yusuf.
I'm Tyler.
And go Carey Price.